33, Keith Hayashi is the superintendent of the Hawaii Department of Education.
There's been updated numbers, but I believe what we had reported was that the difference in the number between students who had enrolled before the fires and after, there was a difference of about 2,000 who had not re-enrolled. Is that number still accurate, and what are you doing to try to address that?
That number is still accurate.
Aloha, soul family, from the Spiritual Genie here. Coming at you with another video about the Maui Inferno attack. And, you know, it's been 1 month since the fires happened as of yesterday. There's still so many questions that haven't been answered, right? Still so many things that are off and more being revealed all the time. And I just, it reeks, right? This whole situation, it just reeks of something very, very unnatural. And I hear the mainstream media referring to this as the wildfires, but let's be real here, okay? Like I just said, nothing wild about these fires, and we all know it. I've been doing tons of research in all of this, the directed energy weapons, go look it all up. It's all real, baby. Okay. And behind all of this is big money. And I think something we're all coming to realize as we join forces against the powers that be is that they're not like us, right? They're different, a different breed altogether. And we're not like them. And we are going to show them that we're a lot smarter than they think we are. And we're on to all the little games that have been being played since day one. Why won't certain questions be answered? Why can't they answer? Like, where are the children? And honestly, I'm open to, yeah, maybe they perished in the fires. Although there's a lot behind that implies there's implication of responsibility on the governing bodies and officials, right? If that's the case. If not, why are they being so tight-lipped, right? A man was put in a headlock early on when he confronted the mayor about where are the children? We're all hip to that there is just some really fishy stuff going on here. We've got Oprah and The Rock coming out with their People's Fund for Maui, right? Do not donate to that thing. Donate directly to organizations in Maui that are helping people, to victims themselves. Okay. Hawaii Real Estate. I'm going to have to shout out that channel in this video. Eric West and his family, and they are residents of West Maui, and he's been covering the truth on this matter ever since the beginning. And he's experienced a lot of pushback and a lot of backlash, even though I really feel like this man is on a divine mission and he has stepped up in a way for his community that most people cannot know. Like this man, he's putting his family and his self on the line here, risking it all to step up for the community of Maui. And it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So I commend you, Eric West. I think you guys are wonderful, you and your family. I'm sorry that you're experiencing so much hate. And I think that's just what happens when you are bringing it. You're bringing it, right? You're bringing the heat, okay, so to speak. Putting the heat on them, and that's good. We need to put the heat on our rulers, you guys. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to hold them accountable. We, the people, okay? Don't forget what a democracy is supposed to be about. We have much more power than they allude to us having, right? They make it seem like, I don't know, just humans are very underestimated by the powers that be. So there's been some weird stuff coming out lately though, right? The numbers do not add up. We all know that. Like, a lot of people are saying the numbers don't add up. The mainstream media is for sure not telling the truth. And you can't get reliable coverage from them as a source. No way. It's got to be through the people and by the people, for the people. And it's been the people that have stood up and helped in Maui in these trying times. And it's not the billionaires and the officials and the government leaders who we should be able to depend on, that we've been able to depend on, right? There's been lies since the beginning. There's been so many weird things. We can start looking at the facts around this, and we're going to dive in. There's underground tunnels underneath Maui. Where are the children? I'm going to get into some interesting stuff here in this one. We're going to look at, underground bunkers that celebrities, especially the mega rich and billionaires, right? What are they preparing for? They've got some very elaborate bunkers going on. People like Bill Gates, for sure. Kind of makes me wonder if maybe Oprah does too. Why are the numbers not adding up? It infuriates me, and with all of the information that's out there, should anyone just do a little bit of research, which go watch some of my other videos about this. I've been covering this since the beginning here, and and really actually coming with factual information. So please hit the like button, you guys. And let's start diving into some interesting things I've found here, right? So let's get into the facts, right? Okay. Let's look at when this all began, what happened. Okay. A lot of talk about children being let out of school, but I think the truth around it is that they were not in school yet. If I'm correct, maybe some were, but not all the children were in school yet. So the government had knowledge that there were a lot of children home alone that morning, right? We're supposed to go back to school that day. School was called off for some reason. And when the first fires began, there was just no warning. And all of the emergency officials were at a FEMA convention or seminar or whatever meeting. All the emergency officials, especially that should have been on site, should an emergency like this break out, were actually they were not in Lahaina, right? They were nowhere near. They were on a whole nother island, which I find to be very convenient. So, okay, already we have officials aren't even there. First fires break out, children home from school, parents at work. No one's notified. Cell phone service is down. And let's rewind actually 3 weeks previous when Governor Josh Green established this. Was it the emergency proclamation established 3 weeks before the fires actually happened? Now, don't get me wrong. I am a psychic. I'm a psychic medium. That's what I usually be doing, but I also do investigative reporting. And when I smell something fishy going on and I know the powers that be are corrupt as F, I have to go looking into it because I am nosy, right? I'm nosy. So I do all the research so y'all don't have to. I put the dots together. And the things that I'm going to show you today are going to change you. So please stay to the end. And let's think about this, right? So there's already these way ahead of time. Also, there's plans established, right? What was it? It's the hold on, Jumpstart Maui. Is that what it's called? I think it's like Jumpstart Maui. And there's these plans for turning Maui into a more eco-friendly and sustainable island. They want to build this whole greenway where you can get around all the way around the island, right? By bicycle. But I think it's all geared toward people not having or owning their own cars, owning their own vehicles. You'll own nothing and love it, right? The government's new mantra for us. You'll own nothing and love it. It'll be swell. But it'll all be so convenient. So there's this plan, Jumpstart Maui, that's already in place. It definitely is, it's disguised as seeming pretty nice. It sounds good. But why is it that a lot of the properties that did burn down are probably located in some of the areas where these plans need to take place? So we already have the plans way ahead of time. This was rewind before the fires. Then we also have the emergency proclamation, or we have this, yeah, we have that set up way ahead of time before the fires, about 3 weeks. And then also, I will say, okay, so fire's happening, right? No one's notified. Kids are at home. Didn't go to school. Supposed to be the first day of school. Didn't let the kids go to school that day for whatever reason. The officials are not on Maui. The fires start happening. No one's notified. So basically, as the fires are spreading in the strange way that they did, right? Popping up here and there, popping up. Okay, popping up, a little weird. Popping up all over the place. No one's notified. So as it's starting to rapidly spread with the winds of the hurricane that are coming in, that would eventually end up being about 80 miles an hour. People were already preparing for the hurricane. Maybe the winds were already there, right? So fires break out, winds are already happening. It starts to spread really fast. And for some people at that point, it's like already late. Structures are burning, and now the fire is starting to like rip through the town of Lahaina, and everybody is realizing as they're starting to smell smoke and hear things, and they peek outside, and a lot of people didn't even have time to grab anything other than their loved ones and maybe some of their most needed belongings, papers, documentation, whatever. But some people didn't even have time for that. So people are running and scrambling for their lives at this point. We already know the town is on fire. It's literally burning to the ground. People are already dying. People have already been dying in their homes, dying in their cars, being corralled in as it's rapidly spreading. But it turns out that the electric company, Hawaiian Electric, right, turned off the electricity. So the downed power lines, which was the excuse for the police corralling people in, blocking them in on Front Street and not letting them escape, was because the power lines were down, right? But what if those power lines weren't on? Why couldn't people just go ahead and drive over them? We all know there's something wrong with that, right? Sorry, this is like fun. So we all know there's something wrong with that. Okay, corralling people in, not giving them an opportunity to flee.
There was a police barricade at the end of Front Street. There was a police barricade blocking the street so people couldn't get out. But the people trying to escape in those cars that you see burnt, they were blockaded in there. The water was shut off. Firefighters couldn't fight this. The local people couldn't save their own homes. School was canceled that day. You had children, our keiki, babies, and elderly trapped in the homes.
I don't care if you think that you're keeping them safe. At that point, it's pretty much every man, woman, child for themselves. Like, you have to let people have a chance. Give them a chance to run. Give them a chance to flee. But no, you didn't even do that. You corralled them in. They corralled them in. You know? Some people were just so confused. They didn't know. They thought, how could this be even happening? Like, we're going to have to be able to get through. So some of them were just burned alive in their cars. While others had to flee into the ocean, where many of them drowned, as they watched their homes and their town just burn. You know, and through all of this, there's also people going around trying to rescue, trying to help other people. We have only confirmed, 2 children that passed away. One of them is like 15. So what about all the kids that are missing? Did they burn? If they did, will you just tell us that? But no, every time anyone asks, it's very tight-lipped. You're going to get the same response because they're not going to tell us. And who was there shopping earlier that day in Maui? Or when this happened, they were already there shopping for pillows to give people. How nice. How philanthropic of you. And, you know, we know who that is. So maybe during the smoke screen, a lot of people are really wondering, like, what could have happened. I think that as an investigator in my own right, I have to acknowledge all possibilities in a situation. And now with the talk about these underground tunnels being found, it just smells, it reeks of corruption. And I don't even dare to say what, but I'm going to let you all fill in the blanks because you know what I'm insinuating. Where are they? Now the world is starting to really wake up. You start messing with the children, and it's like we're waking up as a collective consciousness. Mankind is waking up in this time, and I've been talking about this, and it's happening, and it's taking these severely traumatic events for human beings to, finally wake up out of their slumber and realize, like, the powers that be are not looking out for us. They're not our friends. And the things that I've been finding, you guys, it's honestly, let me share tab with y'all. So Maui, the People's Fund of Maui, right, by Oprah Winfrey and The Rock. Sounds like a nice thing. Sounds like she's going to donate a little bit. But come on, the lady has she has got billions of dollars. She's a billionaire. Like, it's not a drop in the bucket for these people to actually contribute and could help people rebuild pretty instantaneously. But they're asking for the citizens of the US who are barely getting by, most of us. I can barely pay my rent. I have to choose which bills I pay. Thank you. Don't be asking us for money. I do give what I can. I've donated a little bit to the people of Lahaina, directly to the food bank, but right now I'm also struggling. Like, these guys, they just are so out of touch with reality. They have no idea, like, what they're asking. It just sounds ridiculous. Sounds ridiculous. Oh wow, got all those ones. Okay. So we have talk about these underground tunnels in Maui, right? And I've been looking at them. And her saying she was shopping there, just sounding really weird. What were you shopping for? And where are the kids? All right, we're gonna get into it about, like, these bunkers. All right, and this is real. So, okay, yeah, I guess I'll just share this one. So this is proof that, a lot of the billionaires do actually have underground stuff going on under their mansions and whatnot as well. Oh yeah, the Hawaii tunnels. That was what I wanted. It was even made a while back. So people are kind of finding it now and being like, whoa, what's going on here? There's underground tunnels all over the place. Like, I've been doing research and I've been finding that there's underground tunnels all over the place. Y'all know, probably, if you've heard any weird stuff about, like, the Denver airport, we're going to look at that, and check out some other articles about things regarding, like, underground bunkers and these doomsday bunkers for the mega rich. Okay. So I do want to show you, this is something that, imagine you have all this money. Like, there's no limit to what you can, absolutely no limit to what you can do. Money can buy anything in this freaking world. So, always up for an adventure, we take off into the depths of Maui in search of secret passageways hidden in the cane fields. There is gateways into the unknown. Well, that's kind of creepy. Now, in the comments section, I really did want to point this out. I'm actually glad I scrolled right down here, because I thought people's comments are interesting when it comes to this. I always go to the comment sections, you guys. I live in the comment sections, and I always find I really like to look at what just the normal people have to say about things, right? Like, what is your average Joe, like me and you, have to say about all the events happening in the world? Okay, is everyone here because of the missing children in Maui? And this person got 1.1 thousand likes, and you will drop this open to the rest of the replies on her comment, and it says a lot of different stuff, but basically, yes. Okay. This person says, if they were forced down a tunnel, I bet you they said, don't worry, we're trying to save you from the fire. Creeps McGeeps. So there are endless comments down in the comment section of this video, which was made in 2016. So it's been around for a little while, but now people are, like, going looking, and it's like, oh, turns out there are actually underground tunnels and cave systems, like, all over Hawaii, all over the rest of the United States, and I imagine around the world. I've heard a lot of weird things in my studies and research. So right here we have these guys going down into the day, 300 feet below. Okay, so yeah, let's check it. They just took this elevator shaft 290 feet down into this whole underground world down here. Now, I know they used to do like fuel storage. Maybe what is this looking like? Mining stuff? Okay. So like, what are we like? Some mining shafts? What is this? Oil? Some kind of giant drill. These guys are drinking brewskis. Probably want to be careful. There could be like some subterranean entities down there. You don't want to take them back up to the surface with you. I don't to say that. You better bust out your sage after that. So look at that. That's pretty crazy. All tunnels down here. Who knows where they go? Where do they lead? You know, that all doesn't seem like it's in operation anymore, but still the tunnels exist. How many more tunnels are there too? That's kind of the next question that it poses, right? How many other tunnels are just down underneath our feet and we have no idea? Like, what's going on beneath the earth? We don't even know. Happening right beneath us. That's kind of creepy. But it is something I've thought about. I've thought a lot about that, especially when it comes to, you know, the buying and selling of little ones. Like, I truly believe that this is a way that can go down sometimes. How dangerous. That is scary. Like, that guy should not be standing right there. I'm getting anxiety watching that. Oh my God. No, please. They're like, yeah, let's drink some beers and just go stand over a portal to another dimension. No, I'm half joking, but you know, there you have it, right? There are tunnels underneath Maui, and who knows where they lead. It's apparently causing a lot of people to question if perhaps there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing in regards to this whole situation. It's freaky. Like, the fact that they don't answer when you ask them and they're very tight-lipped about the kids, it's just telling. You have to listen to the language, you guys, etymology, looking at the words, the language, how they speak, what they say. Whenever the government officials open up their mouths and talk, all you hear is they twist and spin. They like have these professional spin doctors that just tell them what to say, and it's all scripted and it's all spun and it's all ritualistic, to be honest. But I don't want to get too much into that here. We're going to look at this tab instead. Oh, that's actually not the one we want to look at right now. We'll go back to this one. But this one, it says, whistleblower confirms secret underground base exists beneath the Denver International Airport. I'm sure people have heard that. There is controversy around that. Can't prove for sure, but I'm pretty sure. Like, it's massive. I think it's like 50. What did they say? It's like 50 miles or something like that. 50 miles, that's crazy. But this is one that is true that I did want to show you guys. So as we're talking about underground things and possible routes for doing certain nefarious things, or maybe transporting things, right? You know what I'm talking about. Billionaire bunkers. It's how the 1% are preparing for the apocalypse. So let's read this article a little bit. Say doomsday bunker, and most people would imagine a concrete room filled with cots and canned goods. The threat of global annihilation may feel as present as it did during the Cold War, but today's high security shelters should not be more different than their 20th century counterparts, right? A number of companies around the world are meeting a growing demand for structures that protect from any risk, whether it's a global pandemic, an asteroid, or World War III, while also delivering luxurious amenities. But like, look, this, you know, this stuff ain't cheap, so ain't nobody just gonna be buying this. You can have no luxury doomsday bunker unless you're probably a multi-million / billionaire, not / either or, right? Like, your father or grandfather's bunker was not very comfortable, says Robert Vicino, a real estate entrepreneur and CEO of Vivos, a company he founded that builds and manages high-end shelters around the world. They were gray, they were metal, like a ship or something military, and the truth is, mankind cannot survive long-term in such a Spartan, bleak environment, right? Okay. What is that? Is that a doomsday bunker? What does that say? Planned amenities include light. I guess I can zoom in a little bit. So check it out. That is kind of an image of what they would be, some doomsday bunkers might have in them. It's said that Bill Gates has underground stuff going on under all of his properties. We'll look at that, but I'm pretty sure that makes sense. I mean, if I was super rich, I would do it too. Like, I would build doomsday bunkers under my house, and then we don't know about tunnel systems and all this. Come on, there's also like into all the directed energy weapons. It's the super mega rich and the billionaires and the Vanguard and the BlackRock and the all those that are supporting those companies that are secret shareholders in those companies. That are all invested in the same things here, right? World War III, and this is on CNN. So what are they predicting? Are they telling us something? Should we be getting ready for World War III? There's a lot going on with Russia and Ukraine. I'm not going to talk about that a lot either, but as billions of dollars get sent over there, I guess I can mention it. Joe Biden sends another billion to Ukraine. How much are we going to take, people? Honestly, I just keep wondering. And it almost hurts me inside that people actually are so loving and peaceful and passive in the face of such evilness. How much is it going to take before we really get angry enough that we start to demand answers? Doomsday demand. Many of the world's elite, including hedge fund managers, sports stars, and tech executives, like Bill Gates, I wonder, like Elon Musk. Elon Musk probably has a pretty high-tech underground bunker, I bet. Bill Gates is rumored to have bunkers at all his properties, have chosen to design their own secret shelters to house their families and staff. You know it. Gary Lynch, general manager of Texas-based Rising S Company, says 2016 sales for their custom high-end underground bunkers grew 700%. And these are custom high-end bunkers. So like I said, y'all, we just, you and me ain't probably, unless you're really rich, you ain't getting one of these. So we all gone, you know what, up here together on top of the surface of the earth where we were born. That is our birthright to live upon. Even though these colonists think not. All right, so we read that. Blah, 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 700% compared to 2015. So in 2016, the percent of sales for this jumped quite a bit. So what, did somebody know something? Did some of these mega rich know something? Was someone tipped off here? Why have the sales increased? Okay. The company's plate steel bunkers, which are designed to last for generations, can hold a minimum of 1 year's worth of food per resident and withstand earthquakes. Wow. But while some want to bunker down alone, others prefer the apocalypse in a community setting that offers an experience a bit closer to the world. A secret bunker in southeast London built to protect key government employees during a nuclear winter has been transformed into a $4 million luxury residence. Wow. Developers of community shelters like these often acquire decommissioned military bunkers and missile silos built by the United States or Soviet governments, sites that would cost hundreds of millions of dollars to build today. The fortified structures are designed to withstand a nuclear strike and come equipped with power systems, water purification systems, blast valves, and nuclear, biological, chemical, air filtration. Most include food supplies for a year or more, and many have hydroponic gardens to supplement the rations. I wonder how many of the mega rich that live on Maui have these underground survival bunkers. I bet they just went right down in there and kept themselves nice and safe as the rest of Maui, West Maui, burned. Who knows? That's what I would do. So most include food supplies for a year or more, and many have hydroponic gardens to supplement the rations. The developers also work to create well-rounded communities with a range of skills necessary for long-term survival, from doctors to teachers. Pacino says Vivos received a flurry of interest in its shelters around 2016 election from both liberals and conservatives, and completely sold out of spaces in its community shelters in the past few weeks. I don't know when this was written. We'd have to look. Designer Arc. One of the shelters is near Black Hills of South Dakota and consists of 575 military bunkers that served as an Army munitions depot until 1967. And that's in South Dakota. So a lot of like what, barren land in South Dakota, or like a lot of, is there mountains and stuff? I don't know exactly. I haven't been there. But you do have a lot of, I know a lot of native land there, right? So there are places like this. Check it out. 575 military bunkers down there near the Black Hills of South Dakota. Wow, that's crazy. And that's, someone built one of these shelters there. Presently being converted into a facility that will accommodate about 5,000 people. The interiors of each bunker are outfitted by the owners at a cost of between $25,000 to $200,000 each. The price depends on whether they want a minimalist space or a home with high-end finishes. The compound itself will be equipped with all the comforts of a small town, including a community theater, classrooms, hydroponic gardens, a medical clinic, a spa, and a gym. So this is what your rich and elite are planning on doing, hence the end of the world should ensue, or we have any massive cataclysms or disasters. But that's only for 5,000 people. So that's definitely going to be for a select few of the entire population. That's a minute and minuscule amount. But however many bunkers like this they have, we did see the American Horror Story Apocalypse season. I'll just say, if anyone has watched that, it was very eerie. And it felt a little bit predictive programming. The compound itself will, we already read that, but wow. So holy moly, that's what they're planning to do, huh? I didn't really think about it that much. I haven't really been thinking about it. Look at this. For clients looking for something further afield and more luxurious, the company also offers Vivos Europa 1, billed as a modern-day Noah's Ark in a former Cold War era munitions storage facility in Germany. Huh. So who's to say that those tunnels in Maui don't just lead straight to some underground bunker? They could, and they might. The structure, which was carved out of solid bedrock, offers 34 private residences, each starting at 2,500 square feet, with the option to add a second story for a total of 5,000 square feet. Wow. So there's survival condo in Kansas. Holy crap. Yeah, no one's getting in there. What? Look at this. The units will be delivered empty, and each owner will have the space renovated to suit their own taste and needs, choosing from options that include screening rooms, private pools, and gyms. Bacino compares the individual spaces to underground yachts and even recommends that owners commission the same builders and designers that worked on their actual vessels. Most of these people have high-end yachts, so they already have the relationship and they know the taste, fit, and finish that they want, he explains. The vast complex includes a tram system to transport residents throughout the shelter, where they can visit its restaurants, theater, coffee shops, pool, and game areas. I just wanted to insert like children right there. We have all the comforts of home, but also the comforts that you expect when you leave your home. Seems very enticing, and for like an end of the world scenario. And I don't think this is something a lot of us think about, because we're literally just trying to struggle to get by day. So Oprah, no, I can't really donate that much as I wish I could, but it does seem like you guys have a good amount of money to be able to do that. But for some reason, maybe you're saving your money so that you guys can invest in all these underground bunkers and all that, so you can be safe, you know, as anyone would want to be, as anyone would really want to be. While we're on the subject, see, I'll stay within the factual realm right now, and I'm gonna have to be careful with this, what I say, but this is American Military News, and if you can see this horrific title right there, Oprah's faith healer gets 99 years for R-ing 8 girls and women and allegedly 600 more victims. Now, well, who they're talking about, this faith healer, is John of God. And I've mentioned him before, but right now this is seeming very pertinent, especially with what's going on with the Maui situation and the whole People Spun for Maui with Oprah and The Rock, it really got me thinking about this. And it got me thinking about, okay, what about the tunnels? And then so the underground bunkers thing I found, and that got me like going down this whole other realm of, we don't think about all the things that these people can actually have with the amount of money that they have and resources that they have and connections that they have, right? Political, military connections, all that money, they're deeply in bed with the government forces and the powers that be. They only appear to be like this. Some of these celebrities, they're one of my, I think it's like Donut Factory. He says these celebrities they're political celebrities. Like they're kind of just front puppets, like for the political party's different agendas. And these people are running the world. You're mega rich billionaires, military, industrial complex, politicians at the tippy top. And so Oprah advocated for this man, João Teixeira de Faria, a popular Brazilian faith healer who was formerly touted by Oprah Winfrey, received a 99-year prison sentence Monday for multiple accounts of R and SA. According to Agencia Brasil, the sentence delivered by Judge Marcos Bochat Lopes Filho is the result of charges regarding 8 victims of SA during spiritual consultations with Faria between 2010 and 2018 at Casa Dom Inácio de Loyola in Abadiânia, Goiás. What they're talking about is John of God's, this faith healer, right? Oprah vouched for him. Also, Bill Clinton, interestingly enough, saying quite a bit, right? He owned a massive compound in Brazil, and it came out some really dark things about what was going on at that compound. Okay. And now looking back with the children all missing in Maui, like this is all seeming like way more relevant than I could have ever imagined. Right. We need to look at what kind of people these people are. Like you are who you associate with. And so I don't care if you want to like backtrack, because backtracking it's no good. If you want to backtrack and try and say like, oh, you didn't know that this man was running a baby farm out of his, giant compound of like over 1,000 acres or something like that in Brazil. Like, come on. So anyway, the Western Journal reported that Faria, known as João de Deus, or John of God, gained international fame for his alleged faith healing abilities, garnering support and admiration from celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, former President Bill Clinton, former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, actress Shirley MacLaine, and model Naomi Campbell. And Naomi Campbell, I found out recently, owns a massive compound in an interview in 2013. Oprah says John of God is some amazing faith healer. And then here's a tweet. Have you all heard of John of God? My visit with him is next week. Really fascinating. Going down there to the compound, huh? Wonder why. Potentially purchases? I don't know. After receiving international fame, Faria became entangled in scandals when over 300 women accused the Brazilian healer of SA in December of 2018. This was all out in the mainstream. This is factual. So if anyone wants to come at me, there are no conspiracies here. Just a lot of factual evidence. Okay. I do a lot of research to find this evidence, so that way I can have it to back up any claims that I do make in my videos. Okay. This is becoming long-winded. I apologize for that. I hope you're still sticking with me. It's very interesting. Let's look at the leaders of our world, and we need to start holding these people accountable. And now is the time. And I have to say, even if you have a small platform or you think that no one's listening and you're on social media, make content, talk to people about it, get the truth out there. We need to be holding these people accountable. We need to be showing up, even especially in Maui, like holding meetings. Y'all need to get loud about it, but we are going to get loud with you around the world because we stand with you. And this is very important that we know these things, because this is history. And if you don't pay attention to history, you don't learn your lesson. I'm realizing history is doomed to repeat itself, right? So after 1 year of the scandal being discovered, he was sentenced to prison for 19 years of the R of 4 women. I think one of them being his own daughter. Since Faria's initial prison sentence, other SA cases have been brought against him. Monday's 99-year sentence brings Faria's total prison sentence to 370 years, 9 months and 15 days. Ain't that a story where actually some justice actually came to be? In response to Monday's sentencing verdict, Ben Swan, founder and CEO of Sovereign Media, tweeted, Oprah's spiritual healer has been sentenced to 99 years in prison after being found guilty of art and abusing over 600 women and young girls. Yeah, but that's not all. The abuse is that he had a massive trafficking ring being run out of this property, and there were women being SA'd and impregnated, and then the babies being taken and sold to the highest bidder. So actually this guy's going to talk about that. So this is a tweet here. And John of God also ran a baby trafficking operation where newborn children were sold to childless couples. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Oh, maybe I didn't need to see more. Taking us to Twitter land, taking us to X land now, right? Whereas, and actually it's true that if you do extend the X, and it makes the two rulers of the Freemasonic sign when you actually put it together. So it's an interesting choice of symbolism to change Twitter to. All right, so this guy says, young girls were reportedly held in remote Brazilian farms where they were made to produce babies before being taken out after 10 years of giving birth. One activist whose investigation led to John's arrest said she spoke to women from Europe and the USA and Australia who bought these babies for as much as $50,000. So maybe there's even people that would be procuring for others, you know what I mean, under the guise of, we're a loving family that just wants to buy a baby. Like, horrible. What exploitation. Among John's other celebrity fans are former President Bill Clinton, Shirley MacLaine, Naomi Campbell, who, like I was saying, owns a giant island in Turkey, or owns a massive compound in Turkey also that she did. It looks from sky view like the Eye of Ra, which is heavy in the Egyptian symbolism, and I'm not going to go into that in this live, but I have other videos that talk about it. If you want to go look at my Burning Man video and the occult symbology around that, you can go look at that, because I love doing conspiracy investigating as well. However, it takes me to some interesting things where I find all this factual stuff that, it's just conspiracy starts feeling like another word for truth in my mind. Among John's, we read that. Okay, so this had 11.1. This tweet has 11.1 million views. We'll just leave it right there. So John of God, Oprah supporting people like this. It says, I think it says everything we need to know, right? It says pretty much everything we need to know. Sound of Freedom, by the way, Sound of Freedom did amazingly well in theaters. Where did I go with that? In the US, but not only that, get out of some of these tabs because it's slowing things down. Here we go. So with all the talk about like where the children are probably thinking about Sound of Freedom, and even not only children, right, are amongst the unaccounted for in the Maui death toll, but there's also missing school buses, which is really, really weird. People say they've seen things. I can't go on rumor alone, but this article, I'm not going to read it, is just about apparently in Latin America and South America and Mexico, the Sound of Freedom did even, my hip popped. It did even better than it did in the US. And this really honestly goes to show for me that people are starting to wake up. Like, let's not forget about things like this whole John of God thing and Oprah being associated to that guy. Like I said, it tells you a lot. I'm not going to expound upon it too much because, I'm already what's the word? I'm already freaking treading dangerous waters here as far as the algorithm. Don't forget this kind of stuff. This is crazy. Look at that. Read that for yourself and tell me, like, what you think. That's just no. Where else are we at? I guess I'm not going to go down. We're not going to go down the other rabbit holes, but let's just say the John of God trafficking operation was also very, very deeply connected to Jeffrey Epstein, right? And this says, elites covered up Jeffrey Epstein's crime. No wonder folks believe in Pizzagate. And this isn't about Pizzagate being a real thing. It's more like, yeah, like there is a Pizzagate, but it's not what it was said that it is. It's not coming from the underground basement of a pizza place, although the owner of that place is definitely connected to these things. If you would go look at his Instagram and everything like that, you would find some really dark things. So, and I think it's been deleted at this point, but you can actually find probably in the deeper web some stuff that I've found that's disturbing about that. So anyway, it's more of like a global operation, which we now know, and it's real, and we know that this is all real. Like there's no debating that. Like Jeffrey Epstein happened, and that was like this major, like this crime syndicate of the elites spanning across the globe that operates in operating in plain sight. As we were talking about Bill Gates earlier, having like all these underground bunkers, right? Because we're talking about underground tunnels under Maui, and it's all tying in together. Okay, some years ago during the whole COVID situation, Microsoft tried to just slip out this whole campaign for this woman of Marina Abramovich as the front runner of it, the face of this campaign. And it was I think it was like a hologram technology, and definitely kind of alluding to moving into this future of like AI, right? Potentially even predictive programming of the capturing of the consciousness and finding a way to upload it into the cloud, which I truly believe these people are obsessed with living forever. So they're trying to do any and all things at all times to ensure that they do live forever. So this is Marina Abramovich. She's supposed to be an artist, actually. And she does like, I'm trying to think what they call this kind of performance art. I think she's like more like considers herself a performance artist of some sort. Don't quote me on that. Her art is very disturbing. I really don't like to look at it. I don't really consider that art that I find appealing. And it's all really weird how people like Bill and Melinda Gates are associated with her. And she also has had, these spirit cooking dinners that they call them, which she says even herself, she quoted, she says, when it's done in the public, it's art, but when it's done behind closed doors, it becomes something different. What? Ritual? So anyway, it's interesting to see who our elite are associated with, right? Who they back, who they support. And I don't think I'm going to get all into this. I might actually get more into this in another video. It says the fact that powerful entities such as Microsoft keep showering Abramovich with infinite praise is quite telling, because it doesn't take much in-depth research to understand what she is truly about. I mean, look at the picture. Picture says 1,000 words, doesn't it? It really does. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Ugh. I probably can't even show that on here. So let's get out of that. So just to take it all back to the beginning, because I think I'm going to have to wrap this up right now. Underground tunnels under Maui, and already know that we already know the leaders are lying. They've already been caught telling so many lies about the Lahaina inferno attack And there's nothing natural or wild about these fires, baby. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please hit the like button. Please like, share, subscribe if you love my vibe and you want to become part of the tribe. If you would like to check out the membership section, I am going to be offering some really cool stuff over there, included just different emotes to use in the chat, and you get obviously like more recognition. You get to stand out amongst the crowd. So if you're returning, I love you. Welcome back. You're my tribe. You guys know you're the vibe. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. This video became way longer than I had anticipated, but we covered a lot. So I hope that you guys will hang with it and maybe even give it a listen while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing in your daily life. Please spread the truth about this story. It's horrendous. It's horrific. And it just makes you question everything, right? Believe in your own truth. Trust in your own inner compass, you guys. Do not ever let the powers that be, don't ever let anyone throw you off of what you feel to be true inside of yourself. Always stand in that internal knowing, right? You are guided by a divine compass within you. You are a divine fractal, of creator. And that force lives within you. And I truly believe, and I know from personal experience, that the answers all lie within, okay? So meditate, open your third eye, stay aware right now, but also speak the truth. Get it out there. Don't be afraid. Even if your voice shakes, do what's right. Stand up, advocate for the people of Maui. Don't let this story fall away into the nooks and crannies of, lost land. Sorry, there's probably a better way to describe that. But seriously don't. For the people of Maui, for all the victims who were lost, for all those unaccounted for children, please scream it from the top of your lungs. Do whatever you have to do. I love you guys. Check out Eric West's channel, please. I didn't have time to put any video in here or anything like that, but if you go look in my community section, also I did repost one of his posts, and you can just directly like his posts from there. But go support Eric West, because he is really with the boots on the ground, fair coverage of everything. He's been getting backlash from police, from locals, from people, and he really has he's raised all this money for people, and he's still doing his best to continue fighting for truth and to support his community. So I do thank you, Eric, for all of that. And I told you I would shout you out on my channel. I did that in the beginning, and I'm doing that again. So if anyone's still watching this, please, please, please give directly to the people of Maui. Do not give to the People's Fund that was created by Oprah and The Rock. Do not trust the mainstream media. And you trust what you see with your own two eyes. Don't let anyone gaslight you, okay? The truth will set you free. I love you guys. Power to the people. We are stronger together, right? United, we stand. Divided, we fall. So don't let them divide you under these stupid two-party system, illusion, BS, don't let them get you in your belief systems. Remember, we're all humans. We need to fight for our humanity. And sometimes it takes uniting against a common enemy to do that. And I see human beings really awakening right now and rising up and coming together in these really trying times. And that makes me feel so happy inside. Because I've been talking about this stuff for years, y'all. Okay. I was sounding like a whole crazy person before, holding it down while everyone else was figuring it out. So welcome to the new earth. Let's cultivate it the way we want it to be. And let's take back control, and let's take back power, because we are powerful. Okay. We're powerful creators, you guys. I believe in you. I love you guys. I've got your back. If anyone needs me, feel free to reach out. Click the link on my cover page or in the bio section description thing. Hit that like button. Share this out. Please share this on your social media channels. Get this message out, and nothing but factual evidence here to back my claims. A lot of weird stuff going on. Where's the children? We're demanding answers. I love you guys. That's it for now. Bye-bye.